Hey, hola, ¿cómo estás? Bonjour, ça va? It's me, the Lost Canuck, coming at you live and in person from Wisconsin, just outside my house. It's a beautiful summer day, and you know what? I thought I'd do a little bit of an experiment today. Remember how we tried, and if you don't remember, I'll put the, let's see which side's it going to be on. I'll put the little video card link over here for my crushed pecan shell experiment. I don't know if you guys remember seeing that. It works well on the Lone Star because the auger's designed for it. It worked on the Blazin' Grillworks Grand Slam grill. Both of those have rounded augers, short ones. This is my little Pi One Pro portable pellet grill. Okay, love this thing. This thing works awesome. So I got it set up on my tailgate right now, and it's a great little grill. This thing smokes like crazy too. So what I've done for an experiment is I made, I don't know if you can see that, that's a 20% mixture of Lumberjack 100% hickory and the crushed pecan shells that I got from Dave Kleinman. So that's a 20, so I lowered the ratio down, and here's why. Okay, so let's look at the auger in the little Pi One. So I don't know if you can see down in here, but I vacuumed out the pot. That has a closed center auger, plus it's got a square, sharp auger flight on it, okay? So that'll be the toughest thing to get those crushed pecan shells through. So if it works in here, look, it should work in any brand pellet grill at a 20% ratio. I haven't tried anything higher. This is my first attempt. So let's load this thing up, turn it on, get her smoking, and we'll go upstairs. What I'm going to do is see this little searing wheel here. It's kind of cool on the Pi One. And so what we're going to do is we're going to smoke some really nice ribeyes that I picked up and over at Hagberg's, my friend Billy. I'm going to smoke them on here for about an hour and a half, and then open up our little daisy wheel there, and we'll sear them at the end. So let's get this thing rolled, or let's get this thing filled up. But first, let's roll that intro. Okay, so like I said, let's put our mixture in. This is a 10-pound hopper, and I made more than 10 pounds. Now, if this doesn't work, I'll keep the mixture and use it on my other pellet grills. All right. And if it doesn't work, I can just vacuum it out. Okay, so there's, like I said, you can see I got crushed pecan shells mixed in with the pellets, and I mixed them around. So we're going to close that. Okay. Oh, and by the way, this thing works off the grid. Okay, this is a true off-grid camping, ice fishing, RVing pellet smoker. Look, if you haven't seen my initial review on this whole thing, check it out. I'll leave the video card up there. Did a review. Plus, I ran it in the wintertime at 26 below. The thing still works, okay? So let's get our battery in. It's 100% battery powered. Or I guess you could power it AC, but I'm too far away from the outlet. Okay, so we got 4 bars. Let's turn this thing on. Set it to, I'm gonna smoke the steaks right at 200. I'm going to use some temperature probes, so let's get this thing set, okay? Everything in this thing is DC, so that means it's pretty quiet, okay? So we're gonna, I guess it's really windy, but This is closed, everything's closed. I vacuumed everything out. 75 outside, or so it says. So, stick around. We're going to see if I hear terrible grinding, moaning noises coming from the auger, I'll stop the experiment, vacuum everything out. I don't want to, hey, Pi One, I don't want to void my warranty, so I'll take that out. But if this works, man, it'll put out a lot more smoke, I promise. All right, we'll see you in a second. All right, well, we've been smoking for, well, I've let this thing run for an hour, and I've heard no auger jams. And it's set at 200. I actually think I could probably go with a slightly higher ratio, maybe back to the 33%. So I know it's safe at 20, and it puts out a little more smoke. I don't know if you guys can see the smoke coming out of there, but it's doing a good job. All right, man. Well, it's really windy out here too, so anyways, I think it's doing all right. Okay, it's time to, let's go prep the steaks. Hey, well, we're upstairs in the barbecue lab getting the steaks ready to throw out on my little Pi One Pro portable pellet grill. It's been well over an hour running the crushed pecan shells. Things running it fine at 20%. I probably should have increased the pecan shell ratio up to 33, but I wanted to be careful not to screw everything up. So next test, I'll run it at 33. So let's prep up these steaks. 30-second prep, trust me. Okay, so what we're going to do is I like to just spray a little the spray tallow. It's a Wagyu beef tallow, just to hold the rub on. Okay, so the rub we're going to use is this, my local favorite from Ope We're Smokin, Josh and Sarah's company. This one's their all-purpose rub. It goes really good on beef. And not sure if you saw the video where I was at the open house, or not open house, where I was at the Customer Appreciation Day. Get it right, Lost Canuck, over at Northern Fire. I talked to those guys about their rubs and everything. I'll put a link up to that video. They did say there was a beef rub coming out, so hey, Josh, Sarah, waiting patiently for the beef rub. All right, let's spray a little more tallow on there. Done. And we'll just put, now basically this is fancy salt, pepper, garlic, but I like it. And it's local. I like to support local. It's got nice big salt flakes in it. I like that. All natural ingredients. Nothing fake in here. And, well, unfortunately, no, well, not unfortunately, I'm neither paid nor sponsored by these guys. Nice. Okay, so big one's mine, small one's the videographer. I've already been told that. So let's head out to the pit. We'll see how the smoke's doing. Throw it on. Put some temperature probes in so I can monitor this thing. I'll let her smoke. I'll leave it in the smoke probably for an hour or so. I want the internals, so I want to cook these steaks to medium. Okay, so what I do usually is I'll take the internals up to about 120, and then we'll open the searing plate up on that thing. I'll crank the temperature way up, and then we'll sear each one. See you down at the pit. Okay, well, we're down at the pit. It's super windy, like we're getting 30 gusts up to 30 mile per hour winds. It's blowing like crazy. But my little Pi One's been, you know, keeping the temperature steady. So let's throw these steaks on, and we'll get them smoking. Oh, I got to put temperature probes in too. So I'm going to use my new MeatStick V Duo system. I just like it because you can look at the temperature on the display like that. And there. Okay, so we're set on the smoker. Like I said, I'm going to run this thing up to about 200 and, what am I saying? 120 internal. We'll pull it off, we'll pull the daisy wheel, and we'll sear it. So I'll see you in a second. Well, if you look sideways here, you can see the smoke coming out here. I just wanted to show you that. Usually with a black background you can see it, but the pecan shells really add, I can smell them. They smell great, but it's just so windy you probably can't see nothing. But if you come over here to the side and look down the side, you can see it. Anyways, that's the smoke coming out. See you in a second. All right, well, I was sitting in the hot tub and I overshot my steak temps. Yeah, one's going to be, my wife's will be a little more well, mine's still medium. So let's pull these things off, crank it up, and we'll sear it. Man, we're still getting really good smoke production. Okay, so I pulled the steaks off. I'm going to bring them inside. They don't cool down a lot. I cranked it up to 400. That's good for searing. There's our internal temperatures. So there they are. Let's bring them inside and then we'll crank this thing up. All right, well, we're back at the little Pi One. Even at it's 400 degrees, and with all those pecan shells in there, it's still smoking like crazy. So let's get these things seared off. So I'm going to open the little trap door for searing. There we go. So that's your flame right in the middle. We'll do the little guy first because that's the one that cooled off the most. You can hear that sizzle. Okay, I'm just going to monitor the internal temps here with my meat stick. I can hear it going. I can hear it sizzling in there. I'll probably do, we'll go 2 minutes per side. So I'll start timing her here. It's already been about 10 seconds. Okay, so it's time to pull that one steak off. It's 148, and usually it'll cruise up a little bit into the 150. So we're about a good medium there. So let's pull that off. I don't know if you can hear it, but she's sizzling. Okay, and there's a nice sear on there. Let's get the other one going. Oops. Okay. Now, because I've had the lid open, it thought the temperature dropped, so it's going to overshoot here a bit. But we're searing, so it's okay. Just keep that in mind every time you open the lid up. Temperatures are going to overcompensate, then come back down. Just the nature of a PID controller, and just like I said, remember we pulled it at 148? Well, the temperature of that one steak now is 152, so it did shoot up a bit. Now we're outside, it's a little cold outside. It'll start coming down here slowly. I'll put the other steak on top to retain the heat. We'll go up to the cutting board and take a look. Okay, so we're going to go 2 minutes, and it's been on for about 30 seconds, so hang tight, then we'll flip it. All right, well, it's time to flipperoo. Do the old flipperoo. And again, pellet grill, daisy wheel, Pi One can sear. I'm really happy with this little thing. It's a nice little portable pellet grill. Now, in some future episodes, I'm going to pit this against my new Grilla. Stay tuned for those. All right, well, our MeatStick probes are telling us it's ready to go. So, yeah, we got a nice little sear on that side too. Like I said, I'll put this on top to maintain heat in both of them. So, I'm going to close the daisy wheel, close the lid, and I'm going to turn this off. There. Okay, so it's going to go into a cool down cycle. I think it's 15 minutes or so. Actually, I'll just leave the lid open. And the smoke off this thing was so nice. I can still smell the pecan shells. Okay, so let's bring this up to the cutting board. I think the little one's probably over medium, but the big one is probably right around medium. So let's we'll see you up at the cutting board. Hey, well, we're back upstairs in the barbecue lab, ready to cut into these steaks. I think this one went a little over, and that one might be right on, but we're going to find out. Again, these are nice steaks from Hagberg's, ribeyes. So let's cut into these and see what we got. See this one? Yeah, so that's a just over medium. Maybe a medium well. Looks good though. Take a slice out of this guy. And I'll slice this one in a second. I'll take one and give one to the video. Here's the videographers. Here's mine. Cheers. It's very tender, juicy. You can see the juice coming out on the board. Reverse searing steak is the way to go, in my opinion. I mean, if you have a different way to do them, just on if you use a gas grill or whatever, leave me a note below. I'm not a snob, but smoking them, reverse searing them, I think is much better. So we went over medium on that one. Here's, well, that came off the end. There's a dog treat. Let's cut into this guy. Ooh, it's tender. I can already tell. All right, you guys. Yep, so that's more of a medium. Right there, the juice is all just flowing out of here. I didn't even have to cut that. It's so tender. One for the videographer. One for me. Cheers. Amazingly good. You saw the marbling on the raw steaks. They were good, so let's give this thing a final thoughts and conclusions, okay? I think the experiment was a success. So we added a 20% ratio of crushed pecan shells that I get from my friend Dave Kleinman. Again, not paid or sponsored. But I mixed them in with my 100% natural hickory pellets from Lumberjack. And you saw me put them in. They smoke even up at high temperature. It was 400 degrees and the smoke was pouring out of that thing. I didn't even put the steaks on. So you can't say it was moisture or whatever. It was smoke. Okay. And when we smoked them down around 200, it was drifting to 200, 225. The smoke production was beautiful. So pecan shells at a 20% ratio, crushed pecan shells, work perfectly. I think they smoke a little better than the smoking pecan shells, just because there's a little more surface area for the thing to, burn and everything. So that's my opinion. I like the smoking pecan pellets as well, but these are a little cheaper and you can mix them with anything. All right, so MeatStick Duo, the MeatStick V Duo. Again, I'm testing that thing. It seems to work great. It it told me all the internal temperatures. It told me the external temperatures. I really like it. It's a nice little setup, especially with this little display here, because you can see it without checking your phone all the time. All right, and then finally, that little Pi One portable pellet grill. I love that thing. I mean, it's for a little portable pellet grill that's running on batteries right now. No problems. Like I say, it works in the dead of winter. It works in the summer. It just works. I like it. Pi One, you guys did a good job. Nice grill. All right, and I'm going to be putting it up against my new Grilla that I just bought too. So there'll be some comparisons. Now, they won't be fair comparisons. The grill is a larger size grill, but we'll check it out. We'll try that pellet mix that I just made in the Grilla. All right, so those were my final thoughts and conclusions. All right, so if you made it this far, just so you know, I did get a free bowl of soup with this hat.
This is the worst looking hat I ever saw. Well, you buy a hat like this, I'll bet you get a free bowl of soup, huh? Oh, it looks good on you, though.
And, hey, if you're a new viewer, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning into the channel to check out the little Pi One. Much appreciated. If you're a returning subscriber, thanks, guys. You're my core. Appreciate you guys coming back to check out the different things that I cook on all the time. And look, again, if you're new, don't forget to consider hitting that like button if you like the video. Subscribe and notify me. The little ding, ding, ding. It'll let you know when there's new content. I cook on all kinds of stuff. I've got charcoal grills. I got drums. I got a Lone Star, I got a Blazin', I got a Grilla, I got the Pi, I got all kinds of stuff. Leave me a comment below on what you'd like to see me cook or cook on. I know one of the viewers has already talked to me about using the PK360. I'll get to that. I got some ribs and things like that. I want to try a dual zone cook on there. So again, if you found value in this video with the pecan shells, please consider hitting that like button. Really helps the channel, really helps the channel. And if you really like the video and you like the pecan shell idea, consider hyping the video. So after you hit the like button, it'll ask you, hey, do you want to hype the video with some points? I would appreciate it. You don't have to, but please consider doing that. Every little bit helps the channel, helps the YouTube algorithm figure things out. Okay, finally, if you want to know where to get the pecan shells that I used, I get them from my friend Dave Kleinman. Not paid or sponsored, but I will put his email address below. He's just starting out, he's small, he doesn't have a website. Send him an email. I bought mine, they're $25 for a 20-pound bag, and that's delivered, that's free delivery, straight to your door anywhere in the US, okay? Which I think is a good deal because they seem to last a little longer. You can mix them with things. I like them. And then finally, don't forget to check out the Lost Canuck store. It's an affiliate link store. If you liked anything I used in the video, check it out. That's my shameless plug. But, you know, I got to buy steaks and things like that, and it just helps. I make a very small commission. It doesn't cost you anything extra over going to buying it, you know, on your own. So check that out. Okay, and then I always tell everybody, check out my Instagram page. I do different content out there from time to time. Check it out. Lost Canuck BBQ. I'm on Instagram. It's a fun page. And then again, also we're at the end of the video. Last words that the Lost Canuck always says. Don't forget, be kind to each other. It really matters. It's pure chaos out there in the world right now. And in these trying times, a little kindness goes a long ways. You don't know what happened to other people, what they're thinking, what's going to happen to them. Consider cutting them slack. It's hard for me to do, I admit it. I try. Just be kind. It really matters. All right. Take care. Bye-bye. Love you.